Hello, Ravens, and welcome back to Second Take. Today we have a very special show of all girls. So first up, I'm Izzy Rothen, joined with...
I'm Emma Stanfield.
I'm Ava Ashley.
I'm Anna Dries.
I'm Fernanda Lopez.
And I'm Kylie Freeman.
And we have a bunch of sports topics to talk about today. So first up, we're going to start off with the KU basketball game. So what do we think about them, guys?
Well, last night KU took on UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, they started off with a sluggish start with the first half, UNC scored 38 points and KU leading barely with 43 points. But then the second half is when they really started to take off, and they ended up winning the game. And KU had 41 points in the second half, and UNC only scoring 28 to make the final score 84-66.
Yeah, I was at the game last night, and it was really fun to watch. You could definitely tell the second half, the energy just wasn't there as much, and they kind of struggled a little bit. They were ahead the whole entire first half, but they let it get really close at points, only 2-3 point deficit. And then second half, they just really ran away with it. All the players, you really could tell they started playing up to their actual caliber, and then they started really pulling ahead with the game.
Yeah, we saw number 3 Harris leading the Jayhawks with scoring 17 points, and then center Hunter Dickinson following close behind. He had 15 points and having 15 rebounds.
Harris isn't typically the normal scorer for the Jayhawks. He usually leads the team in assists, but last night he really pulled together for the Jayhawks and carried them through the game.
Speaking of Hunter Dickinson, the game previous before this, KU took a big win over North Carolina, winning 92-89. Hunter Dickinson had a close 20 points, and he chose to come back with the Jayhawks this season after saying that he was going to go out in the NBA draft, and then decided to come back to the Jayhawks this year.
Yes, overall, you could see, especially at the game last night again, that all the guys, the points were split pretty evenly between all of them. Harris had 16 points, Dickinson had 15 points, then David Koya had 13 points, and Zeke Mayo had 10 points. So, it was kind of divided up pretty evenly among a lot of them. So there's a lot of really high-scoring things. And then also, Coach Bill Self got his 100th career win last night at the game. So that was also a really cool accomplishment that they got. Yeah. So then also, the next thing we're going to talk about is the KC Current and their semifinals match. So what do we think about that?
Yeah, so on November 17th, KC Current, their season came to an end in the semifinals after a devastating loss to Orlando Pride. In 2024, Chawinga, she averaged 4.3 shots per game and then 2.3 shots on goal per match. But then in the Orlando versus KC Current game, she only had 2 shots on goal, and both were unsuccessful.
I mean, Current had 20 shots, but only 2 fell, so I think it was pretty unfortunate for them to lose that game, 2-3.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. After they had 20 shots on goal and Orlando only had 13, so definitely interesting converting the shots on goal, just finishing in those tight moments after the game went into overtime.
Yeah, I think it showed them a lot of things they can work on for next season, because making it to the semifinals is a great accomplishment. They made it to the finals once, now the semifinals. That's, like we said, just amazing for women's sports, especially in Kansas City in general. Now they know that next year they really need to work on their finishing, especially because they had so many shots on goal and just couldn't finish on those. And they were really close overall, because they were a fourth seed, I think, and then Orlando was a 1 seed, so they were projected more or less to lose the game, but they still put up a really great showing and made it close throughout the whole time.
Yeah, and I feel for a new team in the NWSL, they're definitely coming out making a statement after only 3 seasons so far.
Yeah. 3
after being in a final, being in a semifinal, they're definitely making a stand and coming out strong, kind of showing everybody that a new team can kind of come in and make a difference.
Yeah. And Orlando Pride advancing to the NWSL Championship final. That makes it their first time in history ever making it to the final. So that's impressive.
Do we think that they're going to win the final?
I don't know.
The final
I think they have a
is
good chance.
actually hosted in Kansas City at the CPKC Stadium, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so the next topic we're going to talk about is the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight and how that went over a couple nights ago.
Yeah, so YouTube star, Jake Paul turned professional boxer, challenges Mike Tyson, 58-year-old legend, to a boxing match. And I found that interesting. I was not expecting them to actually fight.
Who did you guys think was going to win?
I was hoping for Tyson.
I thought Tyson too.
I honestly had no idea.
Well, even though there was no knockout in YouTube star and 58-year-old man, it was one of the most globally viewed sporting events with 108 million viewers watching it from opening to closing bell, which is still pretty amazing.
Yeah, because I've never watched really a fight before, like actually tuned in to watch
Yeah.
one, but like I actually watched this one, which is really surprising because like I said, never watched it before. But it was just so weird seeing like Jake Paul like trying to fight, because like I just remember like the YouTube days and like watching him on Bizarre Park when I was little, so now like seeing him in that like kind of way just was really weird, and I just felt bad for Mike Tyson because he just looked old.
Did you see the walkout of like Tyson?
No, I didn't
And
see
then
that part. I didn't
Paul
see
was
that.
just like
himself.
riding on the car. It was just kind of
Jake
like
Paul?
Well, the
I
last
just-
time Tyson fought was almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
against Kevin
insane.
McBride.
Like,
that was
that's
his
not-
last
his-
professional fight.
he's still good. Like
Yeah,
he's
he, like,
always gonna
looks
have
so,
that.
like,
He's
in him.
58,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's
I mean, that
almost
was
60 years
impressive.
old.
He still
How
has
is it an accomplishment
fight.
to be a 58-year-old?
Yeah.
And be boxing.
And he
What
still
is he-
came home with
Well,
$20
it
million.
said-
And no one got
Yeah.
knocked out. It's not like he even really did anything.
Yeah.
It said that
What?
he won all but one round on the three judges'
And he got some
scorecards.
good punches
Oh wait,
in.
no,
Yeah.
never mind. Paul.
I think what
Paul
really
won.
said it was Paul has the greater reach here with 76 inches, and then Tyson with only 71. And then Paul only landed 28% of his punches, but then Tyson only had 18%, which made Paul
Yeah,
win.
because you could also see him like, I don't really understand this. So I was like asking my parents about it like during the fight. They were like doing it. They were like trying to like measure out like how far away he was from him, which you're not like, not allowed to do apparently. So they were like getting mad at like Jake Paul during the fight. Like the refs like you can't do that. Like you can't like measure out like how far away they are from you like before you throw.
Why do you guys think Paul got more money than Tyson? I feel like it should have been split evenly.
Well, also because he won, so
Yeah.
he did get like
Yeah.
20 mil more, but
but he was from the start. He was getting more money.
Oh, like no matter what?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably because him with like the just like his name and like level
Yeah,
of
his
fame. Like Mike
following.
Tyson was very famous, but like
Yeah.
now Jake Paul's very
he's fighting
famous.
all these like famous.
Well, and
He's just doing
Jake
it for
Paul has
views,
all of
money.
These, like
Yeah.
young viewers and young followers.
Yeah.
And all of
So a
this.
lot
He
of
has
people
this
were watching
new,
'cause of
like,
that.
energy that
That's
people
what I
are
was saying.
wanting to follow and go for.
He's very flashy.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, it was just so interesting in general.
fight before.
Yeah, the fight before.
Yeah,
with the women,
the
that was a
women's
really
that
fight.
was a
fight.
good fight.
I was
No, that
able
was a
to
good
watch.
one.
I was able to watch that fight, and it was very back and forth. Like they were
It was
cuts in the faces. Like
Yes,
it
they were
was,
bleeding.
It was
Bloody
intense.
fight.
It
She
was.
had blood in her eye.
I didn't like actually
Yeah,
watch it, but I
her
saw it after, and I
whole
saw like the
eyebrow
blood
was cut
everywhere.
Open, like it was crazy, especially for two women to see that, and they were like headbutting, and it was intense.
And it was actually the most watched professional women's sporting event in the U.S.
Oh wow,
That's
I did not
crazy.
know that.
Go women's sports.
yeah,
Woo!
just talking about it all.
Okay, so then the last thing we have to talk about today is the Dancing with the Stars semifinals. We added that in there because we thought it'd be fun. There's a lot of former athletes or still current athletes who are also competing on the show as dancing and like trying out a different sport. So that's one interesting aspect of the show. But overall, the semifinals were really interesting.
Yeah, so they ended up put whoever was going into the next round through, and then they had two people left at the end, and then they announced that everybody was going through to the finals last night, so that was exciting. There's been a lot of fun, like, dance partners to follow, people that have been on, like, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, we have athletes, TikTok people, like, whatever, you name it, everybody's following someone, and so it's very exciting, especially fun that everybody's going through, too.
Who are you
Yeah.
guys most excited for?
I'm
Riley.
excited for Riley Arnold.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
that's-
is. They're my
She's having
favorite.
such a great year, especially coming off of last year. She came
Yeah.
out a rough year last year, so I'm excited for Riley and Steven. They look really good. They looked really good from the beginning. They still look really good. And I'm excited to see them next week and
Yeah.
where they'll go from after this week.
Yeah,
Definitely has a better partner compared to last.
yeah, much
Yeah.
better than Harry. Steven just seems so
Yes,
sweet.
yes.
And like he actually, she said that like he goes home, like watches like the film and stuff he's doing and knows what he needs to do to work on for the next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Put
So like
in
he's
effort.
actually like as a gymnast, he like putting in those little critiques for
Yeah.
himself and working on it. But another one of my favorite partnerships are from The Bachelor
Yes.
last year was Joey and Jenna.
Joey and Jenna have been so fun to watch. They
Yes.
have super fun. Like they get along very well. They dance really well together. You can tell they're like very in sync. Like they look very good when they're dancing together, and they've been fun. Yeah.
Yes, and one of their dances last night, they got 310, so they got a 30 on it. That was on their foxtrot, and then on their other dance, they got 2 9s and a 10, so they did really good on both dances too. It just really, like they have like really good chemistry when they're dancing. It's
Yes.
something that's
Yeah.
been really
I
interesting to
think
watch.
all of them have good chemistry, and it's gonna
agree.
be really tough to see who wins
Yeah.
this one.
I'm excited to tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, so that is all we have for Second Take today, all women edition. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget to check us out on our other networks at ONW Raven Network. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.